Hello everyone. So today I'm here to talk about how can we make our world a better place. So have you ever wondered that what our planet Earth look like 100 years from now, or maybe rather just 50 years from now, if we continue the destruction of the natural beauty at the pace which we are doing? Life on planet Earth began 4.7 billion years ago, and since then there has been 5 mass extinction events. The last being 65 million years ago, which brought an end to the age of the dinosaurs. And after that, nature did what it is known to do best. It rebuilt the natural world. And so we are living in this currently age called the Holocene. The Holocene has been the most diverse and most reliable and most predictable age of our planet. The biodiversity is amazing. In the last 10,000 years, there has been no change in drop of the temperature by 1 degree, even 1 degree. And the rich and thriving living world and its biodiversity is the key to its stability. The phytoplanktons on the ocean surface and the vast forests in the north, straddling in the north, they help balance the atmosphere by locking away carbon. Large herds of animals in the grasslands, in the plains, they feed the grasslands and they keep the soil productive and help balance the earth again. The large vast of corals and mangroves across thousands of coasts of oceans, they harbor thousands of species of fishes which when mature they range into open waters, creating our world's largest ecosystem, the ocean. Then our equatorial forests, range forests are very important because they use as much as the sun's energy as possible, and they add oxygen and moisture to the air currents. And the extent of polar ice is critical because they reflect the sun rays, thereby cooling the entire planet. And this entire living world has settled into this reliable, gentle, reliable rhythm, the seasons. The seasons in the tropics, the dry and the rainy seasons would switch like clocks work. And the entire living world, the nature, the birds, the animals, they seem to know about it. And so it gave us humans a unique opportunity to produce crops, to produce food, which is essential for our living. And basically, then we invented farming. And since then, this has been passed to generations after generations. And the pace of progress in human life were extraordinary. In the 1950s to 60s, the wilderness was there everywhere. And at that time, it was unthinkable that us, the humans, a single species on planet Earth, would one day be a threat to the entire planet. And one of my wildlife friends, he used to tell me a story when he used to visit the 1960s forest of Serengeti. Serengeti is the forest in Africa, which has endless grasslands. And the word literally means endless. So at one point you're standing in the grasslands, there will be endless forest grasslands all across the horizon. And the next morning you would wake up and you would see 1 million wildebeest, 500,000 gazelles, quarter zebras, all grazing. And in a few hours again it will be barren. So these intense large herds, they need the immense space of the grasslands. And we are diminishing the space, which will ultimately lead to a big ecosystem collapse. After that, in the 1970s, in the 1968, there was an Apollo mission which was launched, which saw a blue vulnerable planet for the first time, and everybody saw that photo. It was like a blue marble, and the Earth looked like a blue speck in this huge whole of universe. And it made us realize that the living world is finite. It is not limitless. In the whole of universe, we are just a speck, and the humankind is just a speck. So the living world needed protection. In the 1970s, despite this fact, the poaching of animals and extinction of animals started and went on to a big level. So even humans didn't spare the largest mammals on the earth. In the 1970s to 80s, there were mass slaughtering of whales, leading to bloody oceans. So after some protests, which finally was banned, and in the 1980s, there happened a population blast in all of our world. So the whole habitat started to disappear. Important habitat, like for example, Borneo is a country in the equatorial habitat which has typical rainforest. And rainforests are very important because rainforests harbor 50% of all living land species on Earth. And from the 1950s, the Borneo was covered up to 80% was thick coverage of rainforest, and by the end of the century, it was just 20-25%. So we are destroying the forest, and key species in forest like orangutan is an animal which helps in seed diversity by eating the fruits. And a typical rainforest, the tree biodiversity is the most important. So in a forest of Borneo, 700, in a single patch of a typical rainforest, there could be up to 700 different species of trees, and which is there in the entire North America. So, what we are doing, we are replacing those dense biodiversity by monoculture of oil palms. Obviously, the benefit to humans is they would get the wood, the timber for the wood, and they'll use the land for farming. So, double benefit for the humans, but we are heading for an ecological collapse. Then in the 1990s, we learned about our biggest ecosystem through documentaries like The Blue Planet, and we came to know the amazing world which is there underneath. Mesmerizing colors, even bioluminescence. We discovered bioluminescence. And in the vastness of the ocean, there is emptiness everywhere. And in the emptiness, the ocean currents sometimes brings nutrients on the surface. And these nutrients, there are hotspots areas where these things happen. And in that, there is explosion of life. There is huge shoals of fish who come to eat those nutrients, and obviously huge predators also who come. And but the unfortunate thing is the fleeting fish fleets also recognize these hotspots pretty easily. And we have been fishing industry got to a boom in the 1990s, and we ultimately overfished, and within a few years the fishing nets started to come empty. And in 1998, we discovered a phenomena which led to corals which were getting white. So what whitening of the corals is basically expelling of the algae which live in the symbiotic relationship with the corals. And this is actually, it was initially looked beautiful, but it is skeletonization of the corals. The wonderland of the coral were turning into wasteland. And why was this happening? This was happening because of global warming. And till now, till the end of the century, the climate, the world, the ocean had protected all the impact, bad things which we have done to our planet. But now even the ocean was giving up, and the ocean warming is a very, very alarming sign, which we came to know through the bleaching of the corals. And the corals basically bleached because of global warming, because of we are burning too much fossil fuels, too much carbon fuels. And carbon has been the feature of all previous 5 mass extinction events. The last, and normally the amount of carbon to gather in the atmosphere which needs to cause a mass extinction event takes approximately 1 million years for the volcanic activity to generate that much carbon into the atmosphere. But we have done that in the last 200 years. And so we have to, our imprint is truly global now, and we have destroyed over 50% of all rainforest. We have overfished to remaining less than 30% of critical fish levels. We cut 15 billion trees every year. And we have, by over-polluting the rivers, by damming them, we have destroyed freshwater cities to less than 80% of their original species. Basically, we are replacing the wild with the tame. 50% of all fertile land on Mother Earth right now is farmland. So farming, we have to do intelligent farming. And 70% of all mass of birds on planet Earth is domesticated chickens. We as mammals, we contribute to 1/3 of all mammals, that is 33%, and we raise 60% more mammals to eat. So from mice to whales, there is just 4%. So it is truly evident that this is a planet run by humans for the humankinds, and there is no space left for any other species. So now, when we are born, we know about our responsibilities towards us. So 3 responsibilities I think everybody tries to fulfill. 1 responsibility is towards our own self, and 1 responsibility is towards our immediate family members, and the 3rd responsibility is towards our society or profession which we are in. But the 4th and the most important responsibility which each and every one of you has to do is to our planet Earth. If we don't wake up now, then there will be nothing left for our future generations to come. And how do we do that? We just connect to nature. We feel that we are part of nature. If we feel that, the things will happen automatically. So we have to feel that we are connected to nature, and then we will work with nature rather than against it. And if we don't wake up now, then we might as well ask this question to us, that how would you feel that your grandparents may only see, grandchildren may only see the elephants in picture book rather than real life? This is a fact. In next 50 years it is going to happen if we don't wake up now. So what do we need to do? We need to restore stability on planet Earth. We need to rewild the world. We need to get back its biodiversity. So I'll highlight a few points what we can use. Number one is population. Population, as we all know, population is growing, and we are introducing the space. So we should take inspiration from countries like Japan, which realized this pretty early. In the 1950s, they used to have 3 to 4 children, and now they have 1 or less. And despite their immense quality of life and their excellent healthcare, their population is stable. Number 2 is sustainable energy sources. So we need to turn our energies and use of energies to eternal sources like the wind, the air, the geothermal, and the sunlight. And the sooner we do that, the sooner we can make quieter environment. And in the next 20 years, everybody knows that renewables will be our main source of energy. Will we be wise enough to make them our only source? That is up to us. And we should take inspiration in this from countries like Morocco, who were large oil exporters, and now they have they are on the verge of becoming the world's largest solar exporters within the decades to come. And their 50% of all their energy requirements is through solar energy. Then we come down to the oceans. We all know ocean is the largest ecosystem of our planet. And United Nations are making efforts to at least ban fishing in the international waters. If we ban fishing in over just one-third coral reefs across the entire planet, we can restore the biodiversity of our largest ecosystem. So, and the water is most important because why? Planet Earth is 70% water. Human body is 70% water. This can't be a coincidence that planet Earth and human body is both 70% water. So we have to give importance to water, and probably it is predicted that the next crisis is also going to be water related. The fourth and the important point is we have to reduce farmland, and we have to return the wilderness to the nature. We have to turn to intelligent farming. We have to take inspiration in this from countries like Netherlands, such a small country in the whole of Europe. They are the world's second largest exporter of good quality fruits and vegetables. So by using 10 times less the space as everybody else, and by using intelligence, by using technology, by using indoor spaces, they are producing food and exporting them. And this we have to take inspiration by less using the space. And also, if possible, we have to turn towards a plant-based diet, because for one, predators are very rare in nature and getting rarer and rarer day by day. So for one predator, at least 100 prey live in the nature. And for 100 preys, we need immense amount of grassland space. So when we are demanding a piece of meat, we are demanding a large space of space from Mother Nature. And if we all become plant eaters, we would be using only 50% of our land which we are using right now. So I urge, if possible, last and the most important is the forest. Forests are a fundamental part of any diversity. And the wilder the forests are, the more better. Forest is nature's best technology to lock away carbon. And we have to take inspiration in this from a country like Costa Rica, which I was blessed to visit this year in January 2023. And in the 1990s, the 80 to 90% of Costa Rica was covered in rainforest. But by the 1980s, almost 60 to 70% of the forest coverage was destroyed. The government realized that and they acted. So in the 1980s, they urged the citizens to plant native trees all over. And in just 25 years, the 70% of wilderness has returned to Costa Rica. So this is an amazing thing. If we can achieve this on a global thing, it will be next level. So in the end, we know our overriding principle is nature is our biggest ally and our greatest inspiration. So we have to do what nature always does. Nature had cracked the code of life a long time ago. All the species thrived when all living beings around it thrived. So if we take care of nature, nature will always take care of you. We have to inculcate this in ourselves. We have to shift towards sustainable thinking, sustainable living by reducing waste, by reducing single-use plastics, by using more eco-friendly projects, and do community projects, do awareness, especially to our students, our future generation, because they are the ones. And in the end, I would just like to end with a small story. So in a native jungle a long time ago, there was a big violent fire, and the fire was very violent. It was destroying the entire forest, and all the animals were very scared. They were running here and there. And then suddenly a jaguar saw a small hummingbird going towards the direction of the fire. And then again it went to the opposite direction. Then again it went to the direction of the fire. So the jaguar was questioned the bizarre behavior of the hummingbird and asked the hummingbird, "What are you doing?" Hummingbird said, "I'm going to the lake to get some water in my beak and throw it to the fire so that I can extinguish it." The jaguar laughed. "You seriously think that with a small beak you can extinguish the fire?" The hummingbird said, "I know that with my beak water I will not be able to extinguish the fire. But forest is my life. Forest has given me everything. Forest has given me food. Forest has given me shelter. Forest has given me space to raise my young ones. And I am a part of the forest, and forest is a part of me. So I have to do my part." If we all realize this fact, that we must do our part, we are not asking you to do anything major. In a small corner, your own personal corner, you can contribute to nature. And if we all waken up with that fact, then together we can all save the Mother Earth. Thank you so much. And in the end, the future of our natural world is in our hands. So it is up to us. Thank you.